Hey everybody, Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to Oxygen Not Included Volcanea, episode 13, Exosuits. Right at the start, I am going to have you all test, or rather, vote for... hold on. Let me change the way that looks. Shoop! Wow, my magic is weak today. There we go. I'm going to have you guys vote for what I'm going to tackle first thing. So I could do some additional exploration. If you voted for that, I would maybe have a sub-poll about trying to find either oil, or head towards the artifacts, or head towards points of other points of interest, or explore for more Exosuits. So maybe those four. Improve systems, improve colony morale. There's a lot that could be done to improve colony morale. There's a lot of buildings that are missing. So luxury barracks. No, I can't do no cots. So a barracks with a few private bedrooms. Once I have some more plastic, a great hall would be really easy for me to do. A proper kitchen would be rather easy. Recreation room would be pretty easy. We do have a park, but I could also work towards a nature reserve instead. Or I could improve the food that we eat. That would not be so easy. That would be a pretty major project incorporating likely fungal farming. Which I really don't have the capacity to do at the moment, but I could let you vote on that. Organize, clean, and improve efficiency. One of the big things to improve efficiency is to implement fire poles into the colony, and that would be relatively simple to do. But other than that, you know, there's other efficiency improvements, and I would have you vote on the projects or propose them. Or build a new project, which, honestly, this poll should just be build a new project that is viewer suggested. But it doesn't say that because I didn't do enough of my own homework. We are still incubating additional glossies, and I am very hopeful to shear the ones that we have, because plastic is always a useful material to have on hand in an ample supply. So, have yourself a little vote, and hopefully we'll get our dupes working even more efficiently, improving the colony in ways unthinkable. Alright, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to start batching the water. So once this is done, shutting that off and running a water dump sink. We have the liquid pump trying to add additional water into the system. So this water is hypothetically clean. You guys last stream did vote for this water to be filtered anyway, just for insurance. But, you know... we can start running it through the reservoirs and into the bank. And I think all of the water that's currently in these are clean. So I am going to let it rip and dump it into our holding pool. Alright, so it looks like Explore 1. What to explore? Search for Exosuits. Search for artifacts. Search for oil, or search for other points of interest. Other points of interest would be gravitas buildings, volcanoes, geysers, etc., that kind of stuff. Just not basically a catch-all for not of the first three choices. So in terms of capturable water, let's, I'm going to want to do a little check. So this stuff is a little hot, but easily utilized. It's not poisoned or anything like that. It is sort of surrounded by slime biome, but if I'm careful about how I excavate towards it, I could avoid the slime. I could go sort of down and through here, or around, or something like that. This water is easy to utilize. This water is very hot because it came out of a geyser, but, you know, I could utilize it. This water similarly came out of a geyser, so I could use it. Or I should call it a vent. There's this water up here, and then this water over here. This water's hot. This water's sort of neutral. But there's a lot of water around, and then of course there's all this ice potential that could melt. But in terms of like water usage, because right now I would say the base that we've got has particularly high water usage. So that's going to be it's kind of one of the only things that is not like a renewable thing going on right now. Like most of our colony is pretty supporting, except for water. It uses up a sizable amount of water, and I will have to work to replace it. It doesn't use it up so fast that, like, I'm worried, though. One of the other things I might want to do... God, this feels dumb. So, I think what I'll do is I am going to start dumping... Oh, you know, I could do high-pressure vents, but I don't really want to dump that much oxygen. So, I'm going to want to start to put oxygen that we're generating outside of our airlocks, because we have the potential to generate even more hydrogen, but our oxygen is backed up. So, releasing oxygen here will help to oxygenate and pressurize outside of airlocks, and I can do that elsewhere as well. It also looks like we have some carbon dioxide getting trapped in some sections of the base. So I can create airflow tiles to act as, you know, to allow for the trapped carbon dioxide to flow freely to our skimmer, which is down here. So we're going to search for oil. Got it. So there is a bit of a question that I have for you all. One issue that I have just in the back of my head for searching for oil is, generally speaking, when you find oil, you're in an extraordinarily hot environment. So in the search for oil, we're likely going to need to incorporate suits because we're headed somewhere where it is not safe for dupes, and they'll get burned going there. So we do have hazard protection researched already for exosuits. So we're going to want to search for oil and make an exosuit dock, because the two, in my mind, kind of go hand in hand, right? And ideally, I would like to search for oil straight down from our main ladder, because I intend for our main ladder to be sort of the main travel hub, I guess. There's probably a better term for that, but that's what I'm going with. So let's go ahead and get an exosuit forge. I guess I'll put it there. I don't really have a better place to put it. I am sure that plopping it there is going to, because it requires a lot of power, going to change the balance of my power networks, but whatever. You know, if it browns out, it browns out. It also looks like I'm going to pause this liquid pump here, or I don't really need to do it that way. I have an actual smart switch for that. And I'm going to start to pump this water, because this water is actually then in my way. What is the current scarcity? So I just got done saying that, but basically my thoughts about the current scarcity is it's water. It's actually just liquid water. There's a lot of it, but for me to be able to use it easily, I'm going to have to treat it and store it. So that would be the scarcity. Also, we're kind of running out of hydrogen, which is one of the reasons why I started outgassing my oxygen out here, so that we can make more hydrogen with our electrolyzers. But I'd really rather not dump oxygen into space. I could if I really needed to, if I was desperate. But that would be another resource that is, I wouldn't call it scarce yet, but another resource that we want to keep an eye on. I might need to make more refined copper as well. Time to punch the rock crusher. We do have an exosuit forge, which is good. Very good. And maybe I make one out of iron. We fortunately have enough for 8 suits of reed fiber, because we've been shearing the regular Drecos. And it looks like they're getting cramped. Which, some of that is just because the Dracolid eggs are there. So that's probably the first thing to attend to haul those Dracolid eggs so that they don't register as being cramped. And then maybe to call some of the older non-glossies. But also, I would really like for... What is going on? Why aren't we shearing Chimmick? I really want to shear the plastic ones because that's kind of the most important. Duplicant skills. I'm not going to do just yet because I don't really have the morale. Actually, it looks like I do have the morale, but I'll worry about that later. I think they're all going to get suit wearing as a skill once we have exosuits and we're traveling around in exosuits. But blueprints, farming, digging, building, yokel, iron gut, caregiver. Digging and building is really good to go hand in hand for Marie. Oh, the other thing is like RK cows. I would probably want another greenhouse before really adding another duplicant, I would say. So let's go ahead with algae. We're no longer using the oxygen diffusers to make oxygen, but if for whatever reason we have to stop with the electrolyzer, it would be really good to have algae as a backup. Why is there a random sink under the printing pod? So this sink makes sure that our duplicants clean their hands before entering, or clean their whole body rather, before entering our clean water storage. So it's sort of a way to prevent germs from being introduced into our water supply. Because it's possible for your duplicants to be germy and for those germs to spread. Don't want that. The hydrogen event kicks off in about 38 days or cycles. I haven't really compared, or I haven't rather measured what our supply, or yeah, let's see. I'm gonna pause the game for a second and do my best to try to dig through the analytics. Where is this calorie? Does it track the amount of hydrogen? I want to try to figure out if in the next 38 days we're going to run out of hydrogen. But I don't know if that's something it tracks. Maybe it doesn't. I have no idea. I guess I'll just hope. Worst case scenario, if we get down to one tank, I can start dumping oxygen to space, or putting it somewhere, or pressurizing it, or storing it in tanks or something like that. I'll cross the bridge when we get there. I don't need to worry about that just yet. And Ascendancy, hey man. Thank you for the raid. Welcome, raiders. Was today tilting? Or was it good? Hopefully it was good. Playing Dota. I have not played a MOBA in decades. So just be very glad I'm not your teammate, because I would be so tilting for you to play with, as I have no idea what to do in MOBAs. I would feed. I'd be a middle lane feeder. This game would benefit from a factorial-style generation consumption statistics UI. You know, my guess is, because I know that there's a ton of mods for this game, such a thing probably exists, I'd imagine. Don't quote me on that, but I can picture that being true. So now we're tapping this water down here, sort of. Why did that turn off? Are we browning out? Oh yeah, we're going over current load. Oh, because I connected it to the wrong network like a dummy. Whoosh. Alright. Well, I'll let it brown out for a little bit longer, but I'm gonna fix that by connecting it to the correct network. Wow, I can't paint lines. Yeah, I tried to put it on the same network the other pump was on, and obviously I misread and added it to the electrolyzer network, and I would not want this liquid pump. In fact, no, I take this back. Shut off. I don't want that that pump to brown out the electrolyzer network, because the electrolyzer network is so much more important by many magnitude factors. Just picked up this game because of my playthroughs and the Steam sale. Yeah, it's really cheap on the Steam sale. Actually, I just bought a bunch of games on Steam sale. So, yeah, Steamfest, or Next Fest, or whatever. Big thumbs up. I'm a fan. So, in order to speed up the progress that we are making towards trying to find oil, what I'm going to do in the interim is to dig around the water, knowing that eventually the water will be displaced, and we'll be able to, just go straight down from our main ladder. You know, this ladder. Hey, you know what? You're welcome. You're welcome for what I do. My 100% absolute pleasure. It's the best job I've ever had in my life, and I hope to keep it for years to come. The other thing is, like, I might want some sort of carbon skimmer down here, because breathing kind of sucks. One of the really easy things, if I do put a carbon skimmer down here, is, well, I have an abundance of fresh water that I can easily pipe in. So, yeah, let's do that. And then the wastewater will go to filtration. This is, yeah, that's filtration. Cool. And then, in doing this, this will unearth this carbon dioxide and then eventually get skimmed. Obviously, some of the carbon dioxide will drop from here into this ladder well. You know what? Maybe I don't want the skimmer here. Maybe I want it down here. And just hope to capture the, yeah, I'll put it down here. I'll hope to, I don't know. I'll hope that the oxygen finds its way down there or something. I don't know. We'll figure that out. Very ugly. Very, very ugly. Whoops. But it'll work. It's also temporary, because I don't suspect that we'll allow for the carbon dioxide to drop down there for much longer. But there's a lot of carbon dioxide that's just kind of pooling here, not making its way over to this carbon skimmer, and now with this ladder, it's very unlikely it'll ever make to that skimmer. So this skimmer is just handling the carbon dioxide that pools on the left side of the base, not the right anymore. And watch out for fertilizer. Oh, yeah. Thank you for the warning. Yeah, I'm gonna let the sewage water pool up a bit longer, you know, so I can just sort of run the fresh water from this pool into our holding cells. And I will also raise the priority of this reinforcing wall. So one thing I forgot to do was the eggs. So Drecklid eggs get put in there so they're not so glum. And then we'll see how many are in this room. Critters, 6. Okay, so I think it just has to be lower than 8, so we're fine. What is going on with the fact that we're just, like, not shearing this glossy? Hey, Chimmick. Can I make it an emergency? Where are you going? What are you doing? You just really wanted sleetweed. Yeah, you just need to make a muffin. Alright. Can stuff go wrong in this game like RimWorld? Oh boy, can it ever. You don't have... Well, okay, so there's not really hostiles, although some wild animals can fight you. But, like, it's very easy to have cascading downward spiral effects, like running out of water, which then you run out of oxygen, which then you run out of food, then everyone dies. Like, that kind of nasty effects. And they're actually pretty common in Oxygen Not Included. That is, I would say, sort of the normal experience for a first-time player. Is to have, like, colony collapse in that way. So you were just watching a tournament today? That's really cool. Is last time I checked, Dota 2 had some of the highest prize money for all gaming. Or am I wrong about that? Like it was like Counter-Strike and Dota was some of the highest paying. Because I used to do first-person shooter competitions, but never Counter-Strike because I don't have like pinpoint, snap, reflex accuracy. It was more tactical stuff. But I'm curious if that still remains to be the case. Do I have enough plastics for better beds? I think as soon as I shear... Oh, I just sheared them. So I do, yes. Officially. Let's, I'm going to add plastic to my tracker. So I have 300 kilograms of plastic. And you like the cameo today? Who said she was my wife, though? Dun, dun, dun. She was. As far as you guys know. Uh-oh. Yeah, okay, so, you know how I was talking about, like, the whole things can go wrong? Badger here is suffocating because I didn't finish the ladder, and he's stuck. So this is his oxygen meter, and yeah, go find yourself some oxygen, dude. Case in point, he got trapped and almost suffocated to death. Oh, we have a new Glossy. This is, the baby Glossy popped out of the incubator, obviously. Sweet. So, double plastics. Why are we harvesting this? Hold on, let me go to the auto-harvest. Oh, it was only that one plant. Okay. No, stop it. Stop it. That's Dreco food. No, what? You just did it Oh, I hate you. I literally told him to back off, and he was like, I'm gonna get it anyway. Okay, good job. You're starving our pets. You jerk. You jerk face. So obviously I'm gonna run into some unwanted gases. And the question is, where should I put the exosuit gate? So what am I lacking for the exosuit gate? Just a little bit of extra material. I don't think that there's a functional difference between materials here. Oddly. But I'm a little tempted to go with iron. I forget if iron has a... No, I don't know. Maybe not. Yeah, so question, chat. I mean, I guess I could look at this up too, but maybe you guys know off the top of your head. Is the material that you make exosuits out over atmosuits matter? Or is it just like... doesn't matter? The opposite of matter. You don't think they matter? I didn't think they mattered, but like, I just wanted to make sure. No difference? Okay, yeah, okay, cool. So let's use copper just because I have an abundance of copper. So I'm going to do copper crushing for 10 more times. And, I think I'm going to put my checkpoint... So what I want is this ladder here to lead directly to the checkpoint. So have the checkpoint go like this or something. Either left or right of this ladder, of this central ladder, which will be the spine, hopefully one day going up to space. And then, you know, they'll have to go either left or right of the checkpoint, because the way it's going to work, just to show you, is you'll have the checkpoint, and then a bunch of, like, atmosuit docks. Oh, well, imagine I have more material, so there's multiple atmosuit docks, and then they exit the checkpoint, and then they enter, you know, on the other side, forced to wear a suit. So you really can't have the checkpoint be right here where the ladder is unless it, like, does some sort of C shape where they, like, go around or whatever. So, taking a look at the geometry here, it might make more sense. The problem is, like, both directions have slime. But it might make more sense for the checkpoint to go from left to right. Because what I do plan on having... very, very long from now is transit tubes. Which is going to, obviously, they're very, very power intensive and they require a lot of plastic, but it will speed up the duplicants traversing the base by a lot. So, yeah. Let's dig this out, which is way larger than I need for a checkpoint, and put the checkpoint around there. And we'll start forging Atmosuits. I'll do 5. Question for you all. Should I hunt the hatches? There seems to be an ever-growing number of hatches, like wandering the base and eating random stuff at night. There's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Maybe I'd leave the sage because it's mutated. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's like 10 hatches or something, just like wandering around. I don't really need the K-cows, but you know, I don't have the facilities to like barbecue them. I don't have a grill or no, I can barbecue them. I take that back. Blueprint. I guess water. I did say that water was a bottleneck, so I might as well get more of it. So I could always just leave the hatches and like hope they don't eat anything important and hunt them if I'm ever hungry, or I can hunt them now if you find them annoying. I don't really care. I'll give you 5 minutes to vote on that, which is plenty of time. So the reason I don't have a kitchen or dining area is the way this works is I work on... Wait, where's my interface? Oh, it's behind the pole. So you can't see it, but I work on the priority that's designated by the viewers. So right now I'm searching for oil and I'm not doing anything else. And if ultimately you guys want me to build a dining room, you'll have to vote on it. What's the best way to describe my channel without giving Apple half? Use browser. Use a desktop browser. Don't use... Because Apple or you know, Android, they'll take their cut if you're on mobile. Or alternatively, Patreon, PayPal. You know, all those links should be in my profile. Or just watch. Yeah, I'm cool with that too. Support the channel by watching is like pretty invaluable as well, contrary to what some people will tell you. A hatch ate your sleeping dupe, so you have a personal vendetta? Wow, I didn't play Oxygen Not Included when that was possible, so that's totally very scary sounding to me. Where is the research for metal flooring? Here it is. Metal tile. Metal tile speeds you up, kind of like plastic. And suit docks. Moving around suit docks is often pretty useful, especially if you're fast. Look at that water storage, it's delicious. I gotta be really careful with my sewer water though, because the tanks are empty. In fact, I'll have the fresh water, the known fresh water, go through and sit in the reservoirs for a bit. I seem to have an extremely difficult time painting gas pipes that are, like, straight. So right now, all I'm doing is, like, it's pretty thin oxygen down here. It's barely breathable. So I'm just pumping the extra oxygen that I have down there, just because it gives me somewhere to store it. Because, yeah, it's barely breathable here, too. Let's pump it in this spot. So we're at still 6 critters. How many cycles were we? 34 cycles? Yeah, I predict we will almost run out of hydrogen unless I find a way to use up a lot of oxygen. One of the ways we can use up a lot of oxygen is actually put oxygen into the suit tank ports. That will use some up. That will help a bit. But that's might not be the total solution that we're looking for. Alright, so now that we're not draining into our holding lake, I will start filtering the sewer water. We have 6 Drek eggs. And let's make 20 more refined copper. How many suits? So I have 2 Atmos suits so far. Nice. So I wanted 1 suit per duplicant, which will allow me to scale up. Generally, you won't have all 5 duplicants like leave the base at once. That would be very unusual, but it doesn't hurt to have a lot of suits, especially if there's an emergency where there, you know, a suit gets lost or a duplicant goes down and you need to put an extra suit. So we are hunting hatches. Okay, by 2 votes. Hatches fight back. So whoever's fighting them is going to need to spend some time in the cot, possibly. It doesn't look like we got too hurt. And I got metal tiles. Nice. I think for the first iteration, I am not going to worry too much about putting metal tiles in the checkpoint. But for future changes to the checkpoint, that might be something that I do. And then I'm also going to insulate it so that any heat that is generated down here as we go towards magma and oil and all that doesn't creep back up. The checkpoint is going to go probably from here. So what I suspect is that we will have the end of the transport tube, or at least the end of the transport tube on this end of the suit checkpoint be like here. I don't have the metal to put it down, but be right there, meaning that this becomes the entrance to our suit dock. And I'm overbuilding it so that there's plenty of room for sinks and things, so that we can clean. Because I think the way I want it is to have. Does it work like that? Yeah, probably the way I want it is so that we don't get germs on our suit. And I'm going to rough this out real quick, but this is not where I'm putting it. I'm just demo. Is to put sinks so that we can clean our suits. We also are probably going to want ore scrubbers too. So I'm going to need that research as well. So this suit dock might even need to be bigger. So ore scrubbers allow you. So a sink will have the duplicate clean themselves, but not what they're holding. So the ore scrubber will kill germs on the things that they're holding. So if I have them mining slime or something else that's germy, it will kill the germs before they bring it into storage, thereby keeping the storage clean. So actually, I'm just gonna, knowing how big these things are, the ore scrubbers and the, oops, that's not what I meant to do, and the sinks and all that, I'm gonna need more space. So we're gonna want the duplicants, when coming back to the base from right to left, pass through ore scrubbers and sinks. Does the order matter? Scrubber then sink or sink then scrubber? I'm not sure which. And then eventually the suit dock themselves with a water catch, which was mentioned by... Who said that? Sander Clegane. To make sure that if they are wetting their suits, they don't, dump polluted water everywhere. And then the actual checkpoints that are oxygenated and all that. So, kind of complicated to make a good lock. So the other thing that I'm going to run into is the fact that I am probably going to need more chlorine gas if I'm running ore scrubbers. So here's, let me zoom out. Here's where I know of chlorine. So there's chlorine gas, obviously, in my my germ-killing water room. But if I wanted more chlorine gas, there is a ton of bleach stone here. And it's outside my water lock. So I'm going to have likely a secondary project to create like a water lock here, and then to have a chlorine capture bleach stone outgas thing here. So let me add that to the priority and capture chlorine, because it's always more complicated, is it not? So I'll end up putting like a water lock in this spot. And then that allows me to isolate the chlorine so that I don't really have to filter anything. Because this is all pure chlorine. And Kesem, thank you for the sub. And JFed too. If I missed that 20 minutes ago, which I think I did. We're up to 3 Atmosuits. Make sure they drop off before they clean themselves. The other thing I could do is to have, yeah, so we'll do ore scrubbers and then sinks. And I can always adjust it if it feels wrong or it doesn't work. We'll see. Wonder what the other dupes are doing. I feel like progress is not that speedy. Although, you know, this project is pretty complicated. I'm sure they're like crushing copper and... Oh, barbecue. Oh, I have that on Infinity. Okay. Yeah, we're already cooking. Alright. So we got the desalinator and the ore scrubber. And it looks like right here would be a good place ultimately for a ladder, because I don't see any immediate terrain blocker, you know, because we can... This will allow for a ladder, a transit tube, and a fire pole. The trifecta of travel. How did Dead Dodo get food poisoning? I might have some food poisoned old food in the refrigerator from back in the day when we were piping polluted water into the gristleberries. But the refrigerator is also totally full. But you know, I don't actually think I'm going to make another refrigerator. I don't think I care that we're going to waste some food, because we have a lot. Oh, shoot. A pipsqueak. Well, I'm not ready to pivot to make a nature preserve, so I'm going to pass up on the pipsqueak and just do a nutrient bar. Because, you know, we already have a ton of food. I'm just going to get more of it, apparently. The Pipsqueak has a unique ability to be able to plant seeds so that they make wild plants, and you can use it to design your own parks. They'll plant seeds into soft materials. So anything under, what is it, like 100 or something? I forget exactly what the number is. But yeah, you can use Pipsqueaks to plant wild plants. You can also have Pipsqueaks plant farms, because they'll plant the seeds for you, and the seeds, domesticated plants have more requirements than wild ones, so you can use it to make wild farms, you know, which have a much lower requirements. So the third tank doesn't have any germs. The second tank still has a few. And we'll just keep filling it up until the first tank has some. Thank you for tuning in to Oxygen Not Included, which originally streamed live on Twitch, June 29th. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below. If you'd like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you would like to join my gaming community, Rhadamant.com also has a link to Discord, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching, and a special thank you to my Patreon patrons, Twitch subscribers, and viewers like you that support the channel. Hope to catch you next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, my fellow duplicants.